Good.
Yeah, what are you wearing there, Hiroshi? He's muted. Look like a broadcaster.
Oh, there we go. I was saying something the whole time.
He's been talking for 5 minutes.
I was talking the whole time.
It's amazing. My volume's really quiet. See if I can fix that. Anyway.
You need to get your Call of Duty headset on like Hiroshi.
Right? Don't mess with us. We're intense gamers.
Esports all the way.
Yeah. It's the way forward. We have a special guest joining us with her mask on. Hopefully she can.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, real quick, did everyone get the email from Carla this morning around Landowner Transparency Act?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Carol, did you get that? You're muted.
I sure did.
Do you have any thoughts on it? I'm sure people have a few questions about it.
Not really. I just think that, you know what, when we're pulling up the directors and stuff like that, I would put the limited company on the contract and then the name of the directors underneath. So, and just make sure you have that current copy of them and ask them for the directors.
Yeah, I think that's pretty important for sure. Just understanding who controls the company, right?
You got it.
I'd say the podcast that's in there, that's going to be plenty if you guys have more questions. I haven't watched it yet, but that'll answer everything you need to know. So it's all about disclosure again, just covering your ass in the brokerages. So BYA, right? Let's see those here. All right, well, today's a great class on for sale by owners, which in my opinion are some of the most challenging people we get to work with. And they're also some of the best opportunities for business because one, they want to sell tomorrow, like right away, or they're actually trying to sell right away. They just aren't quite motivated yet to the level they need to be on the MLS, or they're not aware of the pitfalls of selling on their own, and it's just on us to explain what can happen. And there's some really good techniques that we've learned that we can share with you guys on how to create a relationship with these people so they trust you, because that's often one of the biggest struggles to build that relationship and create trust and value. And someone who's done an amazing job of that and actually built a career around for sale by owners would be Trish Crowley, who is so generously joining us today to share a little bit about what she's done. And there are a few questions for her to just make the introduction. So how long, Trish, have you been in real estate?
Hi, Chris. Thanks for
Welcome.
having me
Thank you
today.
for joining us. Yeah.
I'm sorry I have this mask on, but my daughter does acting and she got called to set today, so I'm actually on set and mandatory everybody have this kind of mask on. So hopefully everyone can hear me, and hopefully there's not too much noise. Anyway, so I got my license in 2018, in the end of the summer 2018, right when the market kind of started going a bit soft. So everybody was asking me, oh my gosh, I can't believe, what are you doing? All this kind of stuff. But I had a plan. When I joined, I told Chris and Hiroshi and Ron at the office that one of the things I saw, there was an opportunity near where my parents had recreational property. There was a lot of for sale by owners. It was a really untapped market, so I wanted to pursue that. So I took the opportunity of a slow market and took a ton of classes from Chris, Hiroshi, all kinds of people at the office, also online, YouTube. I love Tom Ferry, Kevin Ward, and just kind of dug deep, started learning, and started just working at it. And one of my things was for sale by owners. This area that I decided to go after had a lot of for sale by owners. So, Chris, is there?
Oop. She took off. We'll bring her back in a sec. So yeah, Trish started off, and one thing that I really admired about her, she had a game plan out of the gates, a business plan. She knew what she wanted to do, and no one was going to dissuade Trish. You back?
Yeah.
Hi.
Sorry.
All good.
Yeah.
I was just mentioning how you had a game plan, you had a business plan in mind, like that you had a plan of attack that you wanted to go after, start a niche. You had an area like a farm market that you were going to stay on top of, and you did that beautifully. And then obviously it took some time. You had to get momentum rolling, but like, how long did it take you to kind of sink your teeth into that market?
It took quite a few months. I would say I think I got my first for sale by owner listing within probably about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
I have now, so it's been about 2 years, and I've actually conquered every single one of them. So yeah, so I've had some fantastic success stories. Every single one of the people, they're so excited, and it has been really, really rewarding to help these people sell their properties. It's been really amazing. So,
what would you say is your favorite story of helping people or the client connections?
Well, I think part of it is because really the people have to realize for sale by owner, there's reasons why they've chosen to go this way. And a lot of times people think it's because they're cheap and they want to save money and they don't want to pay realtor fees. And that sometimes is some of their motivation, but a lot of times it's about a poor relationship that they had in their past, usually with another realtor or multiple realtors. They feel sometimes that they just have no choice. Also, the other thing, sometimes they may have some sort of a background in marketing or sales themselves and think that they can do a better job. But ultimately, if you kind of get into getting to know these people and start a relationship with them, a lot of times, though, it really comes down to they think they can do it better because it's usually some bad experience with real estate. So they just feel, I'm going to give it a shot. It looks, it's easy, or I don't have a choice. And that's what they're doing. So my recommendation always is to just don't go with it, like go into it thinking, oh, I'm just going to get this and that, because you have to realize that a lot of times there's lots of other agents looking at getting these. So it's about creating a relationship with these people. So, and that's what I've done, kind of just one at a time. And I just refuse to take no for an answer. I think Chris and Hiroshi, and they used to always tell me, like, I would sometimes they would say, well, like, I've kind of been going after this for a while. I feel like, they said no. And it's like, yeah, but don't go away until you get a hard no, like they actually tell you to your face, go away. So I did everything.
Have you ever had that happen? Has anyone ever told you a hard no?
No, I haven't actually. I still, not even really for anything, actually. I just keep at it. I'm just persistent. I try different. I'm like, if I phone, I door knock, I leave little cards and things. I text, because a lot of people love texting. I'd leave messages. I'm just persistent. I don't do it all sometimes you have to let up on time and stuff. My latest one, I just closed on a property a couple of weeks ago. He was one of my first ones that went after, because I thought he was going to be easy, because he actually was a friend of my dad's. So I thought, oh, I'm going to be able to use that relationship and get in there. But he was probably the most scared of them all. He had had multiple bad experiences with realtors. He also had, at some point in his life, I don't know, he had some sort of real estate background a little bit. He wasn't in sales, but he had something and seemed to think he could do it, but he just couldn't.
How did you overcome or help understand what his fears were or his previous experiences were that gave him that, and then it helped you build that trust?
I just kept asking questions and just talking to him, letting him tell me whatever he wants to tell me. I would ask questions, and then I just kept keeping in touch with him. Even last Christmas, there was one point where I thought, oh, he really annoyed me, and he made me really mad. And I thought, that's it. I don't care about him. Like, just going to let him go. And I still sent him a Christmas card, him and his wife, in the mail. I thought, oh, what the heck? I'm just going to take a high road and keep at it. And yeah, and he, for the last year, he kind of was nothing. He just sort of was like, yeah, I knew he was always, because every once in a while I'd sort of see that he would check, he would go on my Facebook page or Instagram or something or whatever. And then a lot of times every time I sold something or there was some kind of change in the market, I would just email it to them. And I wouldn't get a response. It was dead silence always. But obviously him and his wife were watching. And so this past summer.
That's the key. Yeah. They are.
Yeah. And this past summer, I had just put a sold sign on a property, and I think I sent him a text saying, hey, just so you know, this property just sold. The market's crazy. There's tons of people looking for properties like yours. Let me know if you changed your mind. And I think 3 days later, I got a phone call from him, and he said, Trish, what did that property sell for? And I told him, and he said, okay, let's do it. Let's list. And because he told me this before in the past, I didn't trust him. Oh my gosh, I didn't trust him so hard that even after the listing was signed, I thought, oh my God, he's gonna pull it. So I didn't want to spend a lot of money on the listing. I did all the photos myself, the video myself. But you know what? Everybody loved him. And in the end, it's been a battle, that property, because I actually sort of sold it 3 times because I got multiple offers to begin with. And then the first 2 offers both collapsed because of an inspection. The buyer had an inspector that I don't really care for myself, and so they backed out because they got cold feet on stuff that needed to get done. And then unfortunately the second person also bailed because of the same reason. And so then I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna ever sell this? And the seller, he actually was on the edge, he was close. He's like, you know what, everybody's gonna have this problem now. I'm never gonna be able to sell this place. And I said, no, trust me, I'm gonna find somebody. And sure enough, I found the right person. It was honestly meant to be. We got the right inspector in. He was fantastic. He even told people, because the people that bought it, they found out that other people had backed out from the inspection, and he talked to them and said, you know what, this happens, explained it all. And yeah, and it was great. And so new people took possession a couple weeks ago. Everybody is thrilled. So yeah, so that was probably one of the sweetest. The sellers, the sellers live in Half Moon Bay. They were so thrilled. They actually gave me a painting out of their house, Henry Roy Vickers native painting as a thank you, and have offered me a place to stay in their Airbnb anytime I go to Half Moon Bay. So it's pretty cool. I think I have a relationship with them for forever. So yeah.
Yeah. How nice is that in itself?
Yeah. So that's one of them, one of the many. There's a few others.
I believe they know how hard you worked for them too. and that's
Oh, totally.
They had to respect
Totally.
that.
Yeah, no,
Your hourly
they-
rate.
yeah,
But-
sometimes the hourly rate on some of these things, I think, oh my gosh, like what, but I know that there's a ripple effect, and
Yes.
it goes out, and sometimes, and I know in this particular property, I had multiple people come up to me and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you took that listing." And then when I sold it, especially as quickly as I did, everybody was like, they were like, wow, they took notice. And yeah, and so it gives people that other potential people that want to sell, it shows them that I can sell the unsellable kind of thing, because that was a
There's your
property
new
that's,
slogan.
yeah,
Yeah,
so.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then there was another property that was similar. It was actually my first for sale by owner listing. It was similar in the case of nobody wanted to take that listing. She was forced to, the seller, she was forced to sell it on her own because nobody would help her, no realtor or anything. When I talked to her on the phone, I basically went after the whole part of, hey, I might have buyers. I'd love to come and, see your property, see what it's all about, because, I actually might bring somebody. And she couldn't believe it. She said, like, nobody does that. She's like, nobody is, she gets people sometimes, like other realtors who come and call her or whatever, but then they would never amount to anything. So anyway, I decided I would take the listing. It was a challenging listing because it was leasehold property, and it was connected with a church, and I had to get lots of help from managing brokers and different people to actually list it, because it was a very rare property, but I learned a ton on it. That listing, I knew it was going to take a long time, but it basically launched my start. From that, I had a ton of open houses. I have a huge database of people that I can, that I've kept, that want property in this one area. I also, funny story, I had an open house one day, and these very weird people came, and they had at one point said, "Oh yeah, we'd like to look at these other places." So I was like, "Great, after I'm done, we can go on a little tour. I have the keys to all these places. I can go and check them out." And then they kind of ghosted me. So then I was like, weird people. Okay, well, whatever, it wasn't meant to be. And then all of a sudden, about 3 weeks later, I get a random call, and he's like, "Hey, Trish, do you remember me? I came to this for the open house." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And he goes, "Hey, listen, I'm looking at a condo in Gibsons, which is near where I was selling property." He says, "The agent there told me that I couldn't go and look at it without an agent. And I told him that you were my agent. I really liked you," he said, "and thought you were really nice." He goes, "I really think I might put an offer on this property. Could you come and show it to me?" So I talked to him more about, like, why did he think he was going to write an offer, and what kind of qualifications he had kind of to write the offer. And he told me all that. So then, so anyway, we made a plan that we were going to go over there. Like about 4 days later, I got a whole bunch of information about the property, sent it to him, so he knew. So we made a plan. And then I was kind of a bit scared to go by myself, because I didn't trust this guy. I thought he was weird. So I got my daughter to go with me. And so my oldest daughter, she's 15 at the time. We went over there, and because I asked him if he was going by himself, and he said no, his wife was coming with him. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So they picked me up because I didn't have a car there. And we went over to this place, and it worked out great because they brought their daughter with them, and my daughter looked after their daughter while we were looking at the property. We did a full tour. We went down, there's like a little playground outside. We went and sat in the playground, went over everything, and they were like, "Yeah, let's write an offer." So he dropped us at Starbucks. We went and sat down, wrote the offer, and he bought that place. So I got that from the listing that everybody said I'm never going to make money off of, but actually I did. So between that place, the one that I sold, and then the database of people, and I know that there's actually, I think, 2 other properties on the island that I actually sold because they picked up buyers from the listing that nobody wanted to take. So, and I actually have a new listing coming up this spring over in this same area. And now I probably have about 30 different people that I can draw from that I got of a database from people like that. I'm lucky because this area, most people don't have agents. Everybody's unrepresented. So I've been very careful about how I go about that, but I've now networked with all the other agents that kind of do service that area in some way or not. And we all do kind of referrals back and forth to each other. But so, because I can't always get all the listings. There's just a certain amount of people that already have a relationship with somebody or whatever. So, but I've kind of made it my goal that if I can't be the listing agent, I'm going to be the buyer's agent. So, yeah, so I'm getting a lot of referrals back that way too.
So breaking into that market, how'd you find with the other agents? Were they amicable, or were they push back a fair bit?
No, they didn't really trust me. They thought I was a newbie and I had to prove myself. But especially this summer, I've actually especially this one agent, she just told me, she says, Trish, I'm just going to give you everything. She's like, you're great.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's, it feels good. It's
yeah.
And yeah. And I've probably the other with like niche marketing, I think one of the best things I ever did was I took Chris and Hiroshi's advice, and I have networked with a ton of business owners that do business on the island and in that area. And I've come up with this list. I'm always, talking to all the owners and going over things that people need or want and stuff like that. And some of them actually, one of them's a water taxi operator. He actually phones me and says, hey, Trish, I got this person for you, or I gave out your name, or he tells me about new people coming and doing work on the island because he might bring them over or stuff like that. So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
so yeah. And
timely. We just talked about that last week.
Was
How
it?
important is that your business network that you can actually refer to, and then obviously now it's referring back to you, which is the beautiful part, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's one of the things is I'm always changing this list. I just had to take somebody off the list the other day because I had a bit of a bad experience, and I was like, okay, you're off the list. And but I got somebody else to replace them, and I have a new relationship. So yeah, one of the other best things that I love about niche marketing is on Instagram, you can do, if you follow certain key hashtags in your niche area, like, so whatever it is that you've decided to work on and focus on, start looking and seeing the other agents that do that area, what key hashtags are they following, and make sure you follow that on Instagram, because you can get a ton of information and insight from that, because you can get other realtor inside information, as well as companies that service that area, all kinds of things. So
yeah, good sleuth work, and it obviously connects you well to the niche. So that
and it's free advertising too. If you're posting stuff and you always make sure that you do that hashtag, it's going to show up in everybody's feed. So everybody looking and following that hashtag, they're all going to get that coming into their box.
Good call, for sure. So you were awarded something in your first year for KW. What was that?
Yeah, I was pretty thrilled. I couldn't believe it. I got Rookie of the Year 2019.
Okay.
I like certainly if somebody had ever said that that was going to happen, I never would have seen that coming at all. So yeah, so I'm so
Yeah.
thrilled.
Well earned for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you.
What would you say the activities were your first year that led you to that? What would your calendar look like, or some of the stuff that you're doing consistently?
I think it was just always constantly working hard, trying to just keep positive all the time, surrounding myself with very positive people, because this job can be a bit isolating sometimes, a bit lonely, but just constantly driving, just grinding all the time, and just try not to waste your time too much. Try and focus on the things that you really think that are worth it. I know it's at some point, I remember in the early stages, I used to think website was really important. And you know what, it is for me right now. I get a ton of people going to I have a page on my website for my area, and that's been huge. But honestly, it really just needed to kind of just have a bit of a landing page, like just get it up and running. You can kind of tweak it and work on it in the slow season. Like my goals right now, because right now it's kind of slow. So December, January, I'm going to work on my updating my website, updating my list, reaching out to all the people that kind of was when it was super crazy busy, because it's been so insane. Reaching out to them, connecting them, talking to them about the spring market. Also my YouTube channel, I started a YouTube channel, and I actually keep that pretty up to date, but I'd like to change it up a little bit. With COVID, that last year was something that I really worked hard on, was my YouTube channel, because I knew that videos changed. And it's funny because in the past, everybody always thought that you had to spend a lot of money on getting these videos done. And for COVID, everybody was like, in the spring, people were like, oh my God, you got to get a videographer in to get all this tour and that. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to spend the money on that. And I think I can do a better job myself. And you know what? It's not like, sometimes it's not the most professional, but you know what? People love it. They absolutely love it. A lot of times, funny enough, my dog's in my videos. And yeah, I can send out the link later, but I don't have it right now because I'm actually on my phone. But
David just sent it, actually.
Okay. So I do kind of like a real live walkthrough. I believe that people need to see it for what it is, especially during COVID, because at the end of the day, people don't want the sugar-coated version. They want to know, what is this? What are we looking at? And why should we come and have a look at it? And by just having, I mean, there's a time and a place, and I do have, one of my properties has a really nice video that Johnny from 3D did. And that was a really fun video to shoot. And I probably will do it again in the future for the right properties. But honestly, at the end of the day, don't be ever afraid to go and just get your camera and just start shooting. That was a big learning curve. But you know what? With COVID, I had this one listing in particular. Actually, I had two listings that were like, the people really wanted to sell. And because of COVID, I was like, okay, I got to do anything and everything I can to get people to come in and see this place and see how great it is. So we did these videos, or I did these videos. I'm going to say it was probably like me, and my dog. Actually, my daughters a couple of times helped me out too. Yeah, and we just did real walkthrough, and people would look at them, and the analytics of how many people that have looked at some of the videos are pretty crazy. To me anyway. I learned a lot from it. It was keep it under about 5 minutes. Anything past that, people kind of check out. I did find though that if somebody actually watched it right to the end, they were pretty interested. So, but I put the links, it was easy to do because I could put the link on MLS. And so all the people, as soon as they go on REW, realtor.ca, they could just click the link and watch the video. And it was one of my things when I would talk to people when they contact me for a listing or a buy, they would ask me stuff and I would ask them, hey, did you happen to look at the video? And most of the time they already had, but sometimes they hadn't. So then I would tell them, okay, go check it out and have a look. And I actually had lots of people, because I think the first couple of times I did, I was like, oh no, my dog got in the chute. And but actually in the end, I've actually had people say, oh, you know what? I think I really like you because I love your dog. You seem so real.
Amazing.
And
You're
so
authentic that way. You're not perfect and polished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I think
great.
in the end, I mean, that's where this whole thing with like selling real estate, it's about relationships. And I think by doing your own video and, you know, doing things like that, it makes people get to know you. And then they feel like when they see you and meet you for the first time, they kind of in some ways sort of already know you. They've made a bit of a connection.
Totally.
Yeah. So does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I was gonna just get to that. Well played.
Okay.
Hiroshi, you have anything you want to ask specifically that I didn't, or is anyone else? Just feel free to fire away. Trish's open book, I'm sure.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Trish. With for sale by owners, was there ever a time when you felt everything clicked together?
I think it was just usually after I'd talked to them like at least 3 or 4 times. One of the things I really like to do to make a connection initially is something that you actually do for expired listings too. Is I think I got that from, I think at one point, I think you guys all mentioned it, but I remember watching a YouTube video. I believe it was, I think it was, it might have been Kevin Word, I'm not sure. But it was on, I just get a cheap business card, the kind where you can write on. I learned that. At first I used to get really nice business cards. Now I always get the cheap ones where you can actually write a message on them. So on the back of my business card, I just put, hey, sorry I missed you. I stopped by today. Please give me a call. And I slide it.
Hiroshi.
And I slide it. I don't say anything else because it gets people wondering why did she leave her card? So I would slide it under the door, slide it through the side in the weather stripping, whatever it took. And sometimes multiple times. And then also sometimes I would slide it in with like something else too, like a market update or whatever. Yeah, and they would just kind of be intrigued. Why were you, why did you come by? And most of the time they would call you because they want to know if you brought a buy or buy. That's most of the time. And so I'd always make sure that they kind of understood that, yeah, I possibly maybe had a buyer, but it wasn't at that moment. I didn't have a buyer right now.
You're not guaranteeing it.
No, I'm not guaranteeing it. I just
fit.
really wanted to know what was going on with this property. And so that's probably one of my favorites, especially if you can't, it's an easy way to kind of get there especially if you can't phone them, because I know a lot of times like on Craigslist and that you aren't able to get a phone number. Getting phone numbers nowadays seems to be harder and harder. So you kind of have to do whatever it takes to kind of get some connection.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and especially if a lot of times these people are older and, one of the obstacles is they don't have a Google footprint. So when you Google them, they don't have that Instagram page or some of them don't even have a Facebook thing. And sometimes you get lucky and get a phone number in the phone book, but not these days. Usually they have a flip phone or something archaic like that. So.
Yeah. Well, it's true. And yeah, I love what you said is you have to do whatever it takes. Mm-hmm. And that's just thinking outside the box. It's going to the door multiple times. But I mean, how many times are you willing to go to someone's door and make $10,000 or like, what's that going to take? Right. And it's
absolutely
tenacious.
Going to the door is huge though. The story where I told you where the guy, I got mad at him and had almost given up on him. he had actually had said, I'm going to list. And so I actually I was going to go to this area and thinking I was going to put up a sign and list his property and that. And at the last minute, he tells me, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I just changed my mind. And so I was so upset, and I thought, oh my God, now I've like got this wasted day, because I'd planned, like I had actually gotten on this boat and I was like on my way to going there. And I thought, okay, how can I make the most of this day? And so that was when there was another for sale by owner that I had actually stopped by about 2 months prior, and had left a little card in the door. I had not heard from them, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and check out, see if they're around. So I went and walked down there, and guess what? They were home. And I ended up actually staying there for 2 hours. They invited me in. We had a great conversation. It was awesome. And so then he basically told me, no, I'm not listing right now. We'll think about it, but no, we're going to still sell it on our own. So I was like, okay, fine enough. And I think it was a month later, he called me out of the blue one day and said, I'd like you to come over. You're the only realtors ever come and knocked on the door and actually visited us. And we know that you're going to give us a different level of service than anyone else in the past. So we want to see what you can do. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Did anyone catch what Trish said there? She had to get on a boat to go and prospect, to go knock on a door. How long did it take you from where do you live?
I live in North Langley.
Walnut Grove,
to get,
right?
Yeah, Walnut Grove. So to get there, it was probably 2 hours. Yeah. So then I was there for the day. So yeah, but I made the most of it. And that listing was, well, we listed it for 1.2 million and I sold it for $1,040,000. So it was definitely worth it.
Just saying, it's like some of us are driving around and driving right past for sale by owner signs all day long, 3 minutes from our house, hardly a boat ride in 2 hours of our time just to get to the door. And
yeah. Well, and lots of people just are like, oh, that's too much work or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but so is too much work just going after the same thing that every single person else is going after. Sometimes you have to just like look outside the box and just reinvent things and do something different. And yeah, so that's kind of what I've done, and it's worked out for me. And I know that there's lots of other opportunities out there for people to just find something and go after it.
It's amazing. Yeah. And I mean, I know you also work over here too.
Yeah, I do all over. Yeah, some of my clients, a lot of them, because this is mostly it's recreational property. So a lot of them have multiple properties. I have actually, well, I call it an off-market listing right now because they didn't want it listed for the winter, but it's technically it's an exclusive, let's just say, for the winter, but we let it go for now. But they own 5 properties. One in Maple, they have a big farm in Maple Ridge. They own a big ranch in Princeton, and they own something else in Kelowna, a rental property, and they have two places there. And you know what, it's a great relationship, and they've all said, you know what, we'll work with you, we'll get you to do other stuff. So it's a lifelong relationship.
That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, you never know either, right? Like sometimes you go after something. This other listing I went after, it turns out, after talking to him about, I think it was about 4 or 5 times, he told me, I gave him an example of, I was telling him that his property was overlisted, and I was giving him an example and a comparison of another property, and he goes, oh, actually, I own that one too. And then I said, oh, really? And I said, okay, well, have you ever thought about selling that one too? And he actually has them both listed with me. So that's going to be that's a tough sell, that one, but because it's a bit off the grid. So So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to sell that one. I've got a few ideas, a few things that I'm working on, but anyway, so you never know. You just never know. You never judge a book by the cover.
Yeah, I think I early on saw you just thinking outside the box again and being curious about how to do things. It's not like, oh, that's not going to work. It's like, how can I make that work? And that's always sort of been your mantra. I feel like you're willing to take on the challenge, which is a huge part of this. It's maybe not the easiest work to sell for sale by owners or on Keats or wherever, but just being willing to step up and do what other people are not willing to do has created a great stepping point for a career. And then obviously you just flourish right out of the gates with your hard work. And it's a great way to launch. It's hard work and everything and stuff, but it's like the first For Sale by Owners that's launched my career. It made all the other agents and everybody turn their heads and look, and it gave me the respect that is necessary to move forward and get new listings and stuff in the future. So yeah, For Sale by Owner and Expired, their hard work and that, but once you have some under your belt, it's, the sky's the limit. Makes everything seem real easy. Working with severe referrals too, right?
Yeah, and it's really, really rewarding to help these people. It's one of the things actually I got to work on this winter when it's a little bit slower is I got to go after these guys to get me. Some of them have written me some letters and things like that, but I need to go after Google reviews and Facebook reviews more. Yeah, I've got a couple, but I can definitely do more. Debbie asked if I have a marketing background. Actually, I do. I used to actually be a floral manager for Safeway, so I did a lot of the sort of marketing, different things there when I did that job. But then when I was in transition, when I was leaving that job, I took a bunch of courses I took a marketing course at Kwantlen Polytechnic, and I also took sales and social media marketing class at BCIT. So so I have taken some of those. The social media marketing class was really great. That's where I kind of learned about how to do the YouTube channel. I got a lot of work still. It's not perfect, but I learned that, and Instagram and that. So I have all those channels right now. I think Twitter's the least productive, but it does give you a little bit of a footprint. I do throw stuff up there just because it's easy. But yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Good question. Does anyone else have any questions?
No.
Going once? Going twice? Did we miss anybody? Hiroshi, feeling good? I can't thank you enough, Trish. It's awesome. I love your energy, and it's just, we're so proud of you. Like I know how hard you worked and have earned everything you've done, and really just getting started, which is really cool to watch too.
Thanks for having me on, everybody, and thanks for listening and all your kind comments. And also, please let everybody know I'm very approachable. If you ever have any questions or anything, please send me a message. I absolutely, actually, I think this morning I've already had 2 people from the office message me for different things. I don't know. We all love to help each other because you know what? In this business, it seems like, I remember Chris and Hiroshi saying this before, but it's so true. No 2 deals are the same. It doesn't matter what it is. There's always, it doesn't matter if it could be the most identical condo or whatever, but it's ultimately it comes down to the seller and the buyer and their circumstances. And just sometimes you come across something that's just like, you're like, oh my goodness, what is this? And and not everybody, we all have a crazy work-life balance, but you can't always get a hold of the right people at the right time. And sometimes you just need that extra opinion on something or what would you do in this circumstances, just to kind of give you that confidence too to go through. So send me a message, a text, anything. I totally don't mind helping out. So good luck, everybody.
And if anyone ever has any clients or people looking in rec property or for Keats Island specifically, or any islands.
Yeah, any of the House Sound area, even in the Sunshine Coast. I know a lot of the realtors and over in the Sunshine Coast, and yes, I have sold a property in Gibson, so I'm pretty well versed in that area. So yeah, send them to me.
Happy to help.
I love to work with you guys.
There you go.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Trish.
Yeah,
It's really nice meeting you again.
Thanks, Trish.
It was good to see you guys.
Yeah, you
Okay.
too. Thanks, Trish.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Have a
Have
great
good
day.
holidays.
Love
All
you,
All
guys.
right.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Awesome. Yeah, we're really blessed to have Trish. She joined us a couple years ago and just was kicking butt from the start. Not at the beginning, like she said, without some bumps and challenges, and she just found her way to work through it, right? So pretty amazing story, I think. So happens to be she kills for sale by owners for a living. Not literally kills them, but kicks ass, I should say, and takes no prisoners. And that's exciting because, you know, it is one of the, they call it the fastest source of business opportunity for a reason. These people are waving their flag in the air saying, hey, I want to sell my house, but I don't know a realtor. I've had a bad experience with a realtor. I've just got fears around real estate, or I think I can do it myself. And they love to sell their own houses, change their own oil, cut their own hair, do their own roof, right? They're just fix it do type people, but they don't even know what the pitfalls are and the potential lawsuits waiting for them. Carol made a really good point last week saying how, you know, you come up with a binder of like, here's what can happen if you do try to sell it on your own. Like you can literally, here's like a bunch of cases, like precedents of people that are trying to sell it on their own. And someone said that they had two clients that were trying to sell it on their own, a buyer and a seller, and then they went to like closing. They went to a lawyer. They just had a contract written up, but they didn't actually go to completion. They didn't even know that. They didn't even know. Like probably didn't get an inspection. Didn't go through any of these details around financing. Like it's just dangerous. But you know that's the reality of people that just, you know, don't take it seriously of one of their largest possessions too, and it's just kind of scary enough to involve a professional. So
It sounds like from what Trish said, a lot of these people, they just see one part of the job and think, oh, I could do this. They just see the marketing, or they just see the exposure online, and they say, oh, I could do this, but they're not thinking about the last 50 yards of the football game, and they're not thinking about the closing, the inspection, and how to deal with whatever happens later.
Contingencies, sure. Yeah.
And letting
Yeah, and that's on you to stay
people in.
curious and ask why, you know, what happened previously and what their experience was with that, and what might, you know, cause the fear or anxiety for them to not move forward in a typical listing contract. So just being there to support. And like she said, she just follows up with them, you know, stays 3, 4, 5 times before they actually kind of come over to her and start trusting that she's going to be there consistently. And most agents will follow up once or twice max, and then they're off to the next, right? Next shiny object, they just move on. So for you to stay in touch just once a week, call them, hey, what's going on? What happened to your open house this weekend? Do you have any showings? Anything new? No, great. Well, let me send you over some market stats or whatever, and then back to the rest of your week. And then same thing next week, just following up, and it's just adding a little bit of value and staying in touch. It's a really simple game plan, and it's very effective. So, yeah, let me share our presentation here real quick so you guys can see what our
The other thing I wanted to touch on was that Rookie of the Year award. So every year for the office, they do have an award for Rookie of the Year, and how it works is it's your first calendar year since getting into the business. So if you got your license, let's say April 2020, you still have all of 21 to try to make your way up the ladder to that Rookie of the Year. It's really exciting. Like you look at some of the award winners in the past, Shannon Kelly, who's a legend in the office, Scott Leaf won it, Tom Harvey, and then Trish Crowley. Tom Harvey was 2-3 years ago, and now he's doing really well. And then Trish Crowley was last year. So if you want to reach for the stars,
Rookie of the Year every year except for when what's his name's wife went, or no, sorry, it was Huber brought on. So we've had Rookie of the Year come out of the coaching program every year, really, except for one that was a gift from another team. But yeah, I mean, something to toot our own horn, I suppose. So we definitely create agents that are purposeful and on track to have a really successful career. And Trish is just a great example of that. Thanks, H. So I'm just going to share this week's presentation with you. So let me know when you're ready. You can see it now. So
Ryan asked, what's the benefit of becoming Rookie of the Year?
Cash.
Yep.
It goes to the rookie with the highest GCI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gross commission income. So definitely it's your deals and that, and then you get put on that stage with all the rest of the Rookie of the Years.
It is bragging rights though too, for your listening presentation, for like with your clients, for social media, whatever it's worth. And not everyone likes to toot their own horn, but they want to work with successful people. They want to know that you're leading in your business. They don't want to work with someone that's done 3 deals and are passive and part-time. So being aggressive is what people are looking for, and it's okay to say, hey, I'm out there making waves. So that is a big part of it too, is as much as cash is a motivator, it's also successful and just being purposeful and building a business that other people want to model and emulate. So any wins we can share real quick? Just real quick, anyone take any listing appointments, any listings, any closings, anything you want to share real quick?
I got a new buyer's client from reaching out to my sphere.
Well done.
It's just positive. And then I have oh, sorry?
Did you do a consultation with him?
Yeah, I talked to him a bit on the phone. He hasn't been pre-approved yet, so I told him, talk to your bank and then go see an independent broker as well. Try and get a better rate. And I said we'll follow up once you're done with the bank and find out more what he's looking for and such.
Cool.
And then I'm showing my parents and my grandma a place today because they're buying together. I tried to get 3 places booked today, but one of them sold yesterday, and the other one has 3 offers and more people writing. So my parents were kind of like, nah, let's just go see the one.
Yeah, fair enough. Good one. Well, I mean, hopefully the one does line up for you and get them in there. Good luck. Anybody else?
I had a good day yesterday. I think I went and knocked on expired 4 listings, and one had a sold sticker, so obviously there. Another one, I just left my card there. This other one I went to, he said that he just bought the house off market, so kind of a no-go there. But then I was able to get 2 phone numbers, so I was pretty excited about that.
Nice. Those are 2 phone numbers that you knocked on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your next step is to write a thank you card for those 2.
Okay.
And then send it off to that address. So in the thank you card, it's a quick note. Like sometimes I write it in Sharpie on purpose, so it takes up more space. And I just say, thanks for taking the time to talk about real estate. If you have any questions, please call me at any time. And then sign it, put a card in, and send it off. Also, don't forget to put those 2 into whatever CRM you're using. And that's, it's always underestimated how much time that takes after you go to the office, because what I've done it so many times, I write in my notepad, it's a phone number, maybe there's an address, but I don't write down what we talked about in the conversation, which is a mistake. And then I just forget about it. And a week later, I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know where they live. I don't know what we talked about. And so it's important to get that off.
I learned from doing open houses that I wasn't writing down what house that they came into.
Exactly.
So I learned from that now when I went out yesterday, I actually made a spreadsheet for myself with just like the date, the time, the address,
Yeah.
Spoke to, and then notes. So I would just sit in my car and kind of make notes of like what we talked about, what I did, like if I talked to them or if I left a card, just so I know when I follow up what the interaction was.
Yeah, that's smart.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
And one other thing you can do is say like, what's the to do? So how do you add value to that relationship? What's something you can do to them for the next meeting you want to set up? I will sit with you next week and we'll talk about market stats, or we'll talk about an evaluation for your house, or whatever it is. Like what's something I can do for them, and then either you get that out of them, like what can I do to make your life better, or what's a to do for me to do to make sure I add value to that relationship somehow.
One other thing that I was doing at open houses as people were walking away, because my memory is probably worse than Hiroshi's, is I would hit the voice recorder on my phone and go, young couple with the screaming kid driving the red Volt. And I would just be as much information I could pull out of my head for a minute, and then I would follow up with my voice notes later in the day.
Brain dump. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Just
thanks for shit.
Yeah, that's a good one. And whatever it is, however you work, you got to figure out where your gaps are so that you don't lose that information. And you will, because you get too busy, you got too many distractions, things will come over and push that out of your brain, never to be heard from again. It's the best idea I've ever heard. And then 20 minutes later, you're like, what was I thinking about? And I was like, that was the moneymaker. So figure out a way to keep that information tight and safe. And it's your database. Like the more you know about your people, their kids' names, their pets' names, their favorite food, their favorite drinks, their restaurants, their alma maters, everything you can figure out about people, you start writing that stuff down, creating a file for your database. And then the next time you don't have to like, what did he talk about last time?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, what's his kids' names? What's the wife? Like all these things that are so important for building a relationship, we just kind of wing it. So creating a system around that is a real key to building a strong relationship. Now, when people tell you about your dog's name, like or something strange, like a small, I remember you used to play high school football. Oh my God, I remembered. Like how important that makes you feel, and such a silly thing, right? But we all want to feel important. So when you can nail that, you're going to do very well.
It's like mirroring times 10.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the houses I went to had some other agent's card on the front doorstep. I mean, it was like a $3 million listing, but I was like, you know what, what's the harm in going?
Mm-hmm.
So then I sat in my car and I just texted one of the agents in my office and I said, okay, so what would you do in the situation? Like, cause I didn't initially pick up the other card, but I left my card like in the door. And he said, actually go back, go get that card. So then I got out of my car, went back to their house, and picked up the other agent's card. Just now that they have only my card, right?
You took away the other agent's card?
Yeah, that's what they told my other colleague suggested I do.
Well, we won't tell who your colleague is, and we'll just pretend this isn't being recorded, and we won't tell who the other agent's card is, but we don't condone that for a few reasons. How would it feel if you were that other agent's card out there working? And sorry for that advice from someone in our office, but it's not really what we recommend to do. As you can, it's against the Competition Act for one thing. So that's the part, right? Like that's.
So a gentle reminder: everybody, bring Scotch tape with you when you're taping your business cards to doors now.
Yeah, Gorilla Glue would be better, I think.
And what if that was your card that someone took away?
Yeah.
Right. So you got to think of it in reverse. It could have been your card. Yeah, you don't do that. It's
competition, right? It's their card and your card. No, one's not better than the other. It's the relationship you build with these people. So it's really on you coming back and catching them again, and that other agent not. So you just need to keep going back, but. It's really not the right thing to do to be stealing other people's swag. So, that being said, I'm not. We'll just leave it at that. You heard it. So.
Sorry, and a lot of people have cameras at their door now too, so they can see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, you just be careful.
Yeah. Good.
Hey, good learning step, I guess.
Totally. Yeah. So fair enough. Like that's how some people run their business. It's just not what we're encouraging you to do. We'll say it that way. So. Challenges, production. We're gonna move forward because Trish shared a lot with us there. So, you guys can read this. So, for those of us that are not prospecting consistently, we just want to know what's keeping you from doing that. Like, if you have a schedule and prospecting is not, you know, a decent chunk of your day. Is it building your website, like Trish said? Like, that's just like, there's just stuff that is expected of you to do in this business in order to get your business up and running. And I get that. Like, you got to have a business card. Do you? I don't know. We can talk about that because people just take on the doors apparently anyway. So otherwise, I kid. But the point is that if you don't have a business card, my job is to go get your contact info. I don't need a website. None of this stuff matters. It's about going out and building relationships until you get to the point where you're too busy, and then people are going to start looking you up anyways. No one's looking up your contact info or anything until you've had enough conversations. So, like Trish made a good point. She does it in her downtime or off time, quiet season, whatever that looks like. You can revamp your website and make stuff nice and shiny. You really just need a very basic landing page, something to get you started. At least people know that you exist, and then prospecting. After that, all that other shiny stuff, you can fill in the gaps for it, or you might just have to lose a little bit of sleep and do that when people aren't awake, and like do that 9-10 o'clock at night, or get up early in the morning before you're prospecting to do it. So this is right now just getting up early in the morning and having late nights, building a business. This is just part of it, but not prospecting to build those shiny items in your business is not the way forward. Just leave it at that. So. Cat Williams, y'all can see that. And it's the truth. There's a lot of people that are out there looking for opportunities for sale by owners, and that's one of their fears. And one of the things you can mention is that, hey, we have errors and omissions insurance, which covers your house. So if someone were to steal your TV at an open house or your watch, we have errors and omission insurance that can potentially cover you. We have like a system in order to make sure people don't just come in and case your house. So that is one of the fears, and it does happen, unfortunately, to realtors as well as for sale by owners. So here's an example of one of our scripts. Get this going here. So the for sale by owner script is different than the expired script in the sense that you are not going over there, like Trish made a really good point. She's not going over the trust trying to list like every other agent's going, hey, I want to sell your home, I want to list your home. And then as soon as she comes in, just being interested in seeing if it may be a good property for her buyers, or just coming to preview the home and just looking to add value, being curious about what their situation is, sellers really tend to let down their guard. They're actually now more wanting to work with you because you're not being that aggressive, pushy agent, which is everyone else. So how do you separate yourself from competition? With a for sale by owner, you're not aggressive, you're curious, you're helpful, you ask questions that point out, you know, the situation that they're in, that maybe how did you actually come up with your price? What are you going to do when you get a buyer? You're going to negotiate, you're going to get lawyers, like how are you going to navigate this? But you're not just telling them, I'm going to sell your house for the most amount of money, because that's like what everyone else says. So be different. Someone want to role play this with me? All at once? So here's a for sale by owner script. I'm going to throw someone under the bus in about 5 seconds if someone doesn't volunteer.
I'll volunteer, Chris.
David, you're amazing. I knew you would.
Hey, Chris,
Basically, we're just going to do this as a phone call calling off a Craigslist ad, and I'm just curious about what's happening, if it's still for sale, and just do your best to kind of role play it, okay? Everybody can see the script. I'm running through it.
Hey, Chris, can you zoom into the script, please? It's like a half screen on our chat.
Yeah, good point. All right. Getting better? Is that gonna work? Here, let's just do this. stick it in here for you guys, and you just have it.
I do want to say, for volunteering for these script and role play on these Monday morning calls, this is your opportunity to learn at a higher level, because if you're doing these scripts in front of people, you're trying not to screw up, you're learning at a higher level than just listening to it.
Mhm.
So just take that into consideration.
It's a safe room. We're all here. There's obviously a few people on the call. You're going to do this in front of us, and we're supportive. The homeowners, not so much, right? It's a $10,000 commission at the end of it. So doing it in front of here is more likely for you to get paid. It's just, that should hopefully be your mindset. I know everybody has a little bit of fear, but I want you guys to start feeling uncomfortable more often. And the more comfortable you are being uncomfortable, the more money you're going to make, period. So start putting yourself in uncomfortable situations daily, and I promise it's going to start paying off. So whether that means stopping and knocking on the door, scripting more, doing that on these calls, however we can help you guys get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's a race to the finish line to get more money. So, okay, David.
So I'm not
ring. Ring.
Okay, hold on. Am I the agent or the homeowner?
Oh, do you want to be the agent? Yeah, you can be the agent if you're ready.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm knocking on your door though, because I hate calling people.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right.
So knock knock.
Oh, hello.
Hey, how you doing? My name's David. Do you got 2 seconds? I want to talk about your FSBO sign out there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You got a buyer?
I don't know. Are you thinking about selling? Like you've had your sign up there for a while, by the way. How long it's been up?
We've had it up for 2 months now.
2 months. Okay. I didn't mention, my name's David. I'm a real estate agent, Keller & Williams here in Maple Ridge. I literally drive by your street daily because I just live around the corner up on Gilbert. How's it been going for the last 2 months?
Well, I get a lot of realtors stopping by and realtors calling for sure. Had a couple lowball offers for some, I guess, investors.
Okay. Do you mind me asking, what price are you hoping to get for your home?
Well, we're a little bit negotiable. I mean, we're asking $1 million and, hoping to get close to that.
Okay. So like when you say lowball offers, where have they come from, and how low are people throwing at you?
Oh, like 800, say, and just, wasting my time.
Right. Yeah. And hey, like, I don't know what you do for business, but time is money. Like literally, I'm standing here hoping to show value for you. What's your time frame of hoping to sell it on your own compared to realistically thinking that you might be using an agent? Hopefully me.
Well, I mean, we've been selling for a couple months now, and I know it's come probably to the end of the fall market here. So I don't know, maybe another month or two, and then we'll take it off over Christmas for a bit, and then probably list it in the spring.
I'm going to interrupt you right there. Why would you think to take it off during Christmas? Because that's actually a great time for properties to be selling.
Oh, how do you mean?
Oh, the number of people that need to move, whether or not it's jobs or changing careers, or they need a home office because they're working from home instead of heading downtown, the properties that are coming off market are making the pool of what people get to look at smaller. So realistically, if your home was number 5th on a list and number 2 and 3 and 1, they come off the market, you just moved up the list of potential homes that somebody would be buying in the right market, in the right price range and location, right? That's kind of the stuff that, well, I'll be honest, as an agent, that's where my value comes in, is to bring those people to your home to help you guys sell.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Whereabouts are you planning on going? Like, do you mind sharing what your plan is?
Yeah, well, we're able to work from home more now, so we're thinking about going out further east, maybe to deep Maple Ridge or Abbotsford, Chilliwack, who knows, but some land and space.
Yeah. Less neighbors, less screaming kids. That's my top 1 and 2 right now. Okay. So I've taken up enough of your time. I appreciate it. At some point, I'd like to be sitting at the kitchen table with your wife explaining how I can sell your home to get you guys moved out to acreage in Abbotsford. What are your thoughts? Like, where are you at?
Well, we still want to try and sell it our own because we're trying to save commission, obviously, and don't want to pay that much. What do you charge for commission?
Because right now I can let you know that FSBO properties are traditionally selling 10% below market average. So if I got you 10% over your hopeful $1 million price, that more than makes up for the commission that would be going to me, my brokerage, and the buying agent and their brokerage. And let's say random, I'm putting an extra $30,000 to $40,000 in your pocket that you wouldn't have gotten by selling on your own. Right.
Okay. Yeah. I understand. How would you do that?
How would I do it? Well, I can do the traditional thing, the signs going in the yard. And no offense, my sign's got the information for my brokerage, my social media. I think I'm on every single platform that's out there, like with a face like this, like, come on, right? Everybody wants to see my social. The brokerage, we get our emails daily, all day long about new properties. The number of other agents that are trying to get their buyers into homes, like next door to you, what is he, 3 doors down? He sold with somebody else a few months ago. I know that property sold about $80,000 over list price. Have I got you thinking?
Potentially. What would it cost me in your commission?
Let's say for $1 million ballpark price, it would be, let's say, total of 28,000 for split between the two brokerages and the two agents. But if I'm getting you, let's say, $72,000 above what you're going to be selling it for on your own, it's still a win.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
And I'm doing the work for you. Because like you said, you've been getting the calls, you've been getting the guys knocking on the door. I put my sign in the front yard, and now everything goes through me. And I filter out the people that are not pre-approved. I filter out your neighbors that just want to take a peek inside of how you decorated. Like, realistically, all the heavy lifting goes on my shoulders. And then hopefully after a couple of showings and all the social and the advertising, we're sitting down, we're going over offers.
Okay. And what happens if I can sell it on my own? If I can find a buyer still?
I don't have an answer to that one.
Okay. Well, I'll bring it up in a sec. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to work with you.
Cool.
Of course, right? Be cooperative. But okay. And okay. Continue. Anything else?
I lost my groove there.
Yeah, sorry. So I had another realtor come over here and offer me that he would sell it for 1% discount agent. So would you match that commission?
No, because I'm worth much more than 1% for what I bring you. Like, I'll be honest, with the power of my office and all the agents within the Keller Williams office for Maple Ridge, Port Coquitlam, as well as the Surrey office, as soon as these listings, once it's listed with me, hits our system, the emails and the phones, they just start going, because right now there is a shortage of property like yours in this area. And as soon as it's available as a listed property for agents to bring buyers to, it's popular. Whereas right now, as a for sale by owner, agents are, well, it's an uphill battle to try and get money out of a seller that doesn't want to list it on MLS. And there's other properties that they would take their buyers to before entertaining yours. It's not really in the game until it's on MLS with us.
Okay, I understand. And I'd have to think about it, because obviously I'm only one half of the decision makers, and at the end of the day, we're we haven't found a place yet that makes sense for us to move, so we're not really in a hurry.
Okay, so that's the other part of it, is when we sit down at the kitchen table with you and the wife and we get your place listed, we'll then set up a search for Deep Maple Ridge or Abbotsford for what you're looking for. And as I'm doing my job to get your place sold, I'll also be helping you find a place that will be a good fit for you and the wife.
Right. You don't know what we want yet. So is that realistic, or are we going to find what we want right away? Because we've been looking, I can't see anything on the market that meets our needs.
Okay. And that's the thing, between like our office and all the agents, there's lots of properties that are coming up in the new year, right? There are people that are saying, you know what, we're doing some renovations, we're cleaning up, we're painting. And as soon as we get the Christmas tree taken down, they're going to get their agent in there to list it, and it's on MLS. Working with me as a buying agent now, you get to see properties hit our system 6, 8, 10, 12 hours before the public would see it on MLS.ca, the REW, all those other ones. You get the email from me the second they hit the market. And if we're on our game, we're visiting that property at 4:30 tonight, and the right property we're writing on within a few hours.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, we definitely need someone to help us. We have a few agents that are offering that, but what sets you apart from other agents that would be able to represent us to purchase a property?
Okay. Well, I'm standing here in front of you because I believe that I'm probably the hardest working guy in the neighborhood. Like I said, I live around the corner. I know the neighborhood, and between my social media and my connections, my people in my database that are looking for homes similar to yours, whether or not they're a perfect fit, we won't know till we get pictures in front of them. I really think that I'd be your best bet.
Good. Awesome. All right. Well, let me chat with the wife, and I'll get back to you.
Okay. How about I do one better? How about I get back to you so you don't have a chance to forget about me? Because like literally, no, like without sounding like super pushy, I really think that we can get your place sold quick and get you moved out into the valley soon.
Okay.
So give me your number. Scribble.
All right. I give up.
Okay. I win.
Yeah. It is a battle of wills to a degree. Yeah. One comment: don't call them FSBOs, because that's an insider term and they don't know what it means, or it can kind of go sideways. So okay, when you're trying to sell it on your own, or if you're for sale by owner, then just that language will skew the conversation a bit if you say FSBO. Gotcha. It's jargon, just to help you out there. Yeah, good. I mean, you handled the commission objection well. It's the no is the strongest one, and having something to say after that of articulating your value and the brokerage and why you're worth more. So that's a big part of for sale by owners, is they're always going to push back on your commission. Just being prepared for that. So we'll handle that here in just a sec. We'll have a commission battle here. So good job, man. Well done. Thanks for being courageous enough to step forward. So we'll pair you guys up here in a sec to some breakout rooms to try this FSBO script. I'm just gonna go back to here real quick to the what's happening here. So there's also the expired script, which we did last week. It's on this slide if you guys want to jump on and grab that as well. But how many people we got? We've got 18, so we're losing people here, dropping off here and there. So Ahmed, are we able to do the breakout rooms? I'm in there. Is he on his other call?
I think he's one of the people we lost.
Oh, did he? Okay. All right. So he should be back at 11:30. So we'll pause on that. I'll move forward just so we keep moving. Sorry. All right. So we've got, let's call it for sale by owner now. So everyone knows how to search up for sale by owners. So we go to Craigslist, and the search criteria is real estate by owner. So we're in Vancouver, all Vancouver. You can go to Tri-Cities, whatnot, housing, and then the key is for sale by owner, not by broker. Okay, so you got to do the by owner, and you will have realtors or owners posted in here anyways, just because they don't know any better, or they hit the wrong button or whatever. So it does happen. You just got to look at the properties and see which one is accurate. So there's an assignment there. This is wanted. Here's a price reduced. So we're looking for one with homeowners information on there, and you can spend time emailing these homeowners, but I promise you it's not the best use of your time to send these emails. I've yet to have a lot of response from a homeowner. So Vernon. So a lot of people right now are sticking them. So I might change this to Tri-Cities just to see if that helps, because maybe people are sticking a lot more in industrial blueberry farm. So yeah, just want to give an example. I'll make a quick call here for you guys to see how it goes. Last time I did this, I set an appointment and then ended up going out and listed the house and sold it in like 3 weeks. So I don't mind doing this. It's always nice to keep me sharp too. Detached house in Port Moody assignment. So I do not need a realtor. Call me. So it is an assignment. I think they've already got a commission with the realtor, so I'd leave that one if that makes sense. So sometimes you get homeowners putting their rentals in here. They don't understand that either. So price to sell, Port Coquitlam. There we go. So here's someone who doesn't understand the how Craigslist works, and you could flag it or whatever, report them. Just moving on. That's usually, I don't bother spending a lot of time trying to educate uneducated realtors, but it's unfortunate that they waste your time. Duplex. What? Okay. Feel free to find one and send it to me, and I'll call it if anyone has one. Keep looking. Or if you want to take a stab at it, go ahead. The idea here is to find something in Lower Mainland. And there's a duplex there. Give me a phone number. Okay. So this kind of is going to wear us out here if we don't find something soon. We'll have to find something. Maybe I'll keep going. And Hiroshi, do you want to look up one and see if you can find one?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, take one more stab at it here.
There are for sale by owner websites too that I used to go on. I think it was called Property Guys. I don't want to make the mistake of there's a real estate team in Lower Mainland called the Property Guys, but I think there's a for sale by owner site there as well that I used to go on. And also like fsbo.ca.
Yeah.
But Craigslist has,
they leave them up.
Yeah, Craigslist always had about 10 times more contacts than those websites, I found.
They'll leave them up. Oh, wanted, sorry. Forever. So like you might call for sale and they're like, oh, we sold 2 years ago. So they don't actually take them off their website. That's the hard part about those other properties, because they still generate clicks. So they're happy to continue. Agents, agents in contact to get exclusive. So this guy's thought it through. He's willing to offer a buyer's agent representation commission. So there's an opportunity here to go knock on this door, I'd say. There's no phone, but that seems like a legit lead there. So I just gotta go to the door. Anyway, I'm gonna keep moving just so this doesn't drag on with me searching through Craigslist for a lead. Sometimes they pop up right away. So here are two great commission handler and they do a battle. So Cody Gibson was our bold coach once upon a time. Tim Hale, both these guys have mega teams down in the States. They probably make $5 million a year in GCI and have 100 people on their teams. Like, I think they know what they're doing, and they just do this as a script battle, which is pretty cool. I don't know if it's going to work on this program. I'm not going to bother. Well, I'll show you one, see if it works. If it runs, great. I'll give it 30 seconds. If it doesn't work, then we'll move on. But just understanding how important it is. And so what I urge you guys to do is get into a commission battle like this, so we can do this on here. And then next week, what happens is you guys will throw out an objection handle, and you guys can do it. And then we just vote and say, hey, who handled it better? And that's how you really sharpen your skills. And I'd love to do that. Like, we do this in class, and Hiroshi and I will do it. Anyone else who wants to jump in and do it, like this is the practice. And then Monday night, 5:30 kickoff, right? That's when you're in front of the clients, or that's when you're making the call and they say, hey, this is a legit time to earn your money. And if you can handle a commission objection, it will come up with expires. It will come up with for sale by owners. It will come up with your family. It will come up with everybody. So if you can't handle a commission objection, what is it costing you? Right? And so this is one of those ones you really got to be prepared to handle at any time. And Hiroshi, we'll say this first, and then Hiroshi and I'll take a stab at it, okay? We'll see if this works.
Yeah, I just posted a Craigslist ad that looks like a for sale by owner. I'm just skimming through it right now. I think this one's good to go.
What's happening? The volume? You guys hear it?
Nope.
No. Okay. That's enough for me. Sorry. Anyway, it's on the wiki site. It's on this slide deck. You can pull it up anytime. Watch them both. They're great. They're super clean. So Hiroshi and I will just do our version of it for you guys. So you guys can vote for 25, or you can vote for. Oh no! Legit. I like it. All right. All right. So you want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
All right. So throw me a commission objection. No hat. Perfect. Thanks, Mark.
I think realtors pay way too much, do way too little. I see you guys going for the football games and going for beers. I don't see you guys working. Why would I pay you $20,000 for something I could do for $18?
Well, I appreciate your thoughts on that, Hiroshi, and I can understand everyone has a different lens on how realtors earn their money. And yeah, there's definitely some flashy folks out there that make it seem like it's really easy and do very little to earn what they keep. So that being said, I'd love to show you what we do differently. More importantly, there's a lot of agents out there that probably offer to give their commission away in order to secure your business. And what's most important about this is how much you keep at the end of the transaction, right? And how much I'm able to negotiate for you and make sure you keep your own money in your bank, and we get as much possible for your house. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I can show you a way that we can get more money by working with me, and I earn what I am able to bring back to my brokerage and then take back to my family, is it fair that you pay a reasonable commission to my brokerage and to myself?
Well, if you can get that much over the market value, sure.
Awesome. Okay. Well, my goal is to always sell for as much money as possible, and what the market's willing to provide. And if I can show you a way that working with me, with my marketing plan and my negotiation skills, treating your money like mine gets you the most money possible, would you be willing to work with me?
Yeah. If you could show me that.
And I'll take you to a football game once we sell your house.
How do you know I like football?
I don't, just a guess. Yeah. All right.
Sounds good. All right, go ahead.
There you go. So there's one. I'll throw you a different version of it. So, we had another agent come over here last week, and he said that he would sell our house for a flat fee of $10,000, and he would do all this stuff that everyone else was doing out there to market our home. And would you be willing to match that?
Yeah, definitely sounds attractive, doesn't it? Especially when I'm charging you this amount, which is it looks like 2.5 times what he's offering. It does sound attractive, and I can understand that. Now, there's no standard commission rate for realtors, but I charge everyone the same rate. You know, if I was selling my best friend's mom's house, I would charge the exact same rate. And most realtors do the same. It seems like this other realtor can't really protect his own money. And my fear for you is that if he can't protect his own money, how is he going to protect your money when it comes to negotiating a lowball offer? And we see those all the time these days. That was a question.
Good point. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's desperate.
And maybe, you know, I can't speak for him though, but we sell homes all the times at the same rate. And we'd love to do the same for you. And, you know, this is how much I charge, but in turn, I can protect your money as well. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you going to be doing that's different from what he said?
I don't know I don't know. What did he say that was attracted? I
said you're going to put it on the MLS and, you know, do some pictures and make sure that, you know, does an open house and stuff.
Oh, okay. Open house, photos. It's funny you say that because we always say every realtor does the 3 P's of real estate. They'll post a sign on your lawn. They'll put it on realestate.ca or realtor.ca, and then they'll pray that it sells. I like to think myself to do the other 2 P's of real estate is that I proactively prospect for buyers, and also I price watch for you. So you're going to get an email from me just about every week letting you know what's sold in the area so that we're constantly up to date on the market. That way you'll get the highest price for your home. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I think going out and finding buyers is what we're looking for. Someone's actually going to go out and solicit business from and bring them to our house. So you can do that?
For sure. Yeah, hold this pen. I'll move the paper.
Awesome. All right, so there you go. So now you guys can vote in the chat for the king of the battle. Anyone else want to step into the ring? Like, oh, David, you're so PC.
You're too nice.
I'm not an idiot.
We're both 25. Just vote for 25. It's safe. Yeah. Anyone else want to step in? We'll get a Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. 2.0 in here. Let's go.
A tie.
If you don't feel comfortable, that's totally understandable. I'd suggest that you guys break out into sessions here. We'll get that going here in a sec. If Faman jumps back on, we can do a FSBO presentation. Each of you guys handle that script, and then do a commission objection script too. Sharpen those skills, right? These are when it matters. And like, let's just say that I worked on my commission objection handler every day for a month because that's one thing I know it's going to make me money, and I nail it. I'm never going to forget it, right? Like, I don't know the last time I worked on that. It's probably the last time I did this class, to be fair, but I know it, and I'm comfortable enough to just say no anyways now, but it still comes up probably once a month in my business where people ask, and I say no, and here's why, right? But being able to handle that and not, oh, I'm nervous, shaking, scared, is making you money. And there's no script out there that's more important for keeping you money, right? So let's just say that I have to knock off on $1 million home 0.5% because I didn't handle the script well. That isn't hurting the buyer's agent. It's only hurting my bottom line, right? So instead of going to 7.3, I go to 7.2.5, let's say, because I couldn't handle that objection well. How much money is that for me to learn the script for one listing? 0.5% of $1 million sale.
Yeah, $5,000.
How much time are you willing to work to learn how to protect your $5,000 in the next listing you take? Right? Like, that's how important this script is to you. And yeah, it's not necessarily about picking up buyers or handling listing objections or whatnot. It's like literally protecting your money. So handle this and be able to articulate your value and own this. So this should be like another agent said they're going to do it for less money. Go. Like you should be able to handle it in that fast and have something to say. 4 or 5 lines max. Just know what you're going to say consistently and own it, and it will make you money. I promise you that. And everyone on this call has already been asked about their commission. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it happens all the time. And like people think we don't, like Hiroshi made fun of it. It's like, you guys make way too much money, do almost nothing for all the, you drive fancy cars. And it's like, yeah, maybe you get like the outliers that are making too much money. Anyone on this call that's like has more money than they know what to do with yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, so don't let the realtors out there that are flashy and creating that poor image of our industry cause you to lose money that you could probably really use right now. Take that as the outliers and say, hey, actually, I work really hard for money. I protect my clients' money. I work for my living and be proud of it, and then handle this objection and own it. And I promise you, you're going to be really, really happy you can nail this. And when you do get it right, and then they just sign, that's an amazing feeling. So last one more time, anybody want to handle this objection for the group?
I have a question. When they do say, "Oh well, I have somebody else that'll do it for cheaper," what could your comeback be? Could it be like, "Well, can you tell me what are they doing for you in terms of for the house?" And then you can kind of match like your services that you're going to provide.
Yeah, right away. Because at the end of the day, what I want to point out is that they've already started negotiating their own money with you, and they're hiring a professional negotiator, as in you, to negotiate for their money. And they're already giving up, like negotiating for your money, whatever, the seller's money, and they're already giving up their money. So how quickly do you think when they get an offer, they're just going to push you to take that offer so they can get paid and move on, and they're not really worried about you getting every dollar out of it. So
okay.
You can talk about, yeah, well, they do this and I do this, and you know, I only went that road with Hiroshi because he said we don't earn our keep. And, you know, there are agents out there that do the 3 Ps, which is just putting a sign on the lawn and putting on MLS and piecing out and then hoping it works out. And if not, you know, you might hear from them right before it expires, right? But, you know, you got to separate yourself from those people. At the end of the day, you know, you do need to articulate your marketing plan and your overall value as a realtor, but a big part of it should be negotiations. And that's where you're negotiating your commission right now to make sure that you don't leave your commission on the table. And, you know, the best commission negotiation script ever is one word. It's real short. Do you negotiate your commission?
Okay.
Negatory.
No. Any other question? Okay, I just had to ask. That's usually what they say.
Chris Niedley picked up a listing just by saying no, and they said, we wanted to make sure that you can say no.
Yeah.
The other way of looking at it is you can put it back to them and say, well, that sounds like that agent was offering you a really good deal on commission. Why didn't you go with them?
Yeah.
Right?
No kidding.
Can I add that if you can negotiate my commission down, then how do you feel I can negotiate your listing price, your selling price? So yeah. I'm a negotiator, so I am going to negotiate the best for you, and that's why I charge the commission that I do.
I'll add one more thing as well. There's an asterisk to all this. If you are in competition and you're up against an expired list and they're interviewing 3 agents and they say, you know, will you reduce your commission in order to work with us? You have to say no. Is that one of the conditions for us to work together, though? Right? You need to make sure that they are aware that you will do it at the end of the day if it means not getting to work with them. So is that one of the conditions? Is that if I won't do it, will you not work with me? You need to get that out of them. Otherwise, they may not work with you. And I would rather you guys go take a listing right now at a discounted commission. And like Trish said, she took that FSBO and she didn't even sell it. But she gets all that extra business, the sign calls, the leads, the new opportunities that come from having a listing. So don't not take the listing. But be sure that, you know, you're not giving up, and they want to hear that you're a strong negotiator. And maybe you do. maybe you give up $1,000, so maybe now it's like 6 and 3 instead of 7 and 3, or whatever it is. Like people need to make sense of the fact that they feel they're getting a fair deal, and that you're earning a fair amount of money, and not some people, like, they really don't earn a lot of money, and they're like, wow, you're getting paid this much money, and then the other part of it is like, well, it's not all to me. And David, you did a good job of pointing that out. It's like both brokerages take their cut, right? And there's another objection handle where you take 6 business cards. This works in the States because they charge 6%, but you can split it up where it's like, okay, well, 3 to the buyer's side and 3 to my side. 1's for the brokerage, 1's for taxes. And here's what I get is the 1 business card left. And then he'll rip it in half and go, okay, well, how much of this do you want to go to the marketing? Well, let's say we took half of that commission away. Do you think they're going to spend more money on marketing and promoting your property, or take that money back to their family? So they have business expenses. You guys have business expenses. This is part of running a business, not just I take all this money and I get to take 100% of it. You guys know what the breakdown is. We've gone over it. It's only maximum 25% you're taking home. So if they think you're making $10,000 and you let them believe that, then you miss an opportunity to educate them on what your overhead is. Brokerages take everything like that, right? Taxes. So.
And Chris, sometimes what I will do is I say, you know what, Mr. Seller, I appreciate your concern with commissions, but if you choose to do your buy with me, I will cover part of your legal fees. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, whatever that is, there can always be a give. And what I'll say is I'll cover your buy side legal fees at the end. So now you're guaranteed 2 pieces of business, and then I'll throw in some money. Right.
Yeah, well, and that's what I do. Yeah, I'll say I'll cover your legal fees up to $1,000 if you're doing, the buy, and I do your sell. Most people love that because they feel like they're getting something.
Another opportunity is say, look, I never want to negotiate my commission up front. I'd rather be able to insert it somehow into the deal to make sure the deal closes. So if I offer money out of the gates and then I have nothing to make sure that, let's say something comes up at inspection, or there's an appliance at closing that isn't working, I'd like to come and help fix that versus putting that on the table now, and then I feel like handcuffed that I can't offer anything to be a problem solver throughout this transaction, because I'm sort of strapped for that in that sense, right? So different ways of handling it, and just being able to understand what their real objection is around it. They might just need to know more.
So Chris, sometimes I see on the MLS fact sheet that like say you're looking for a house for your customer and it's 1.1 million, that's their budget. Now you see houses, I'll maybe see 5 houses or 10 houses in that price range. And one of them will say the commission is 5,000 flat or 10,000 flat. I've got an option of showing 9 other houses. I might show that one last. So how do you tell the person that's listing and saying, hey, I just want to pay a $10,000 flat fee? How do you tell them that, hey, your house is going to get overlooked possibly by an agent who can show 9 other houses that they're going to make a better commission at? Like, what's a tactful way of telling the customer that?
It's a really, really good question, Cindy. Thanks. And I kind of wrap it back to what they do for a living. So I say, Cindy, what do you do for work? And they say, I work in an office. I'm like, okay, so let's just say that you went into work tomorrow and your boss said you're going to get paid 1/3 of what you typically get paid this month. How would you feel about that?
I would feel like I should do 1/3 of the work, but.
Right. And would you lean into that? Yeah. And would you actually be motivated to work? And so if I'm shown 3 job opportunities to go work in your office, and one of them pays 10,000, the other pays 10,000, one pays 3,000, which am I going to encourage my clients to go to? Which am I going to actually see more value in for me? And don't get me wrong, not all agents think that way, but a lot of agents don't make enough money that they can just be choosy. They need to, they only work with 3, 4, 5 clients a year. Like the average agents sell 2 or 3 homes a year. There's only a few that really make a really strong income in this industry. So if you have one of those agents that's looking to only sell 6 homes this year, they really need that full commission in order to eat. So you could get pushed to the bottom of the pile, and they may not even bring your property to the buyer's attention. And do you think that agent might be trying to poke holes in the value of your home and saying, hey, well, probably we can get a better deal over this other one, right? So that's just human nature, and it's just unfortunate, but that's how the industry works. So you need to be aware of that.
So in summary, I would basically just give them a comparison of like what would they want. But is there can we just flatly say it to them that, hey, you're offering a lower commission, that these other houses are going to probably take priority? Or does that just sound like?
No, it's just bringing back fear, greed, human nature, whatever it is, like the type of personality you're working with and the people that you're talking to, like understanding what they do for a living, however it is you want to articulate it. But it's bringing it back to, like, if I'm going to tell you to dig 3 holes and one hole is worth 3,000, the other worth 10,000, which hole are you going to dig, right?
Yeah.
So you're asking them what they would do in the situation, and they're going to tell you, and they say, okay, well, that's what a typical buyer's agent is probably going to do for us if we only offer that amount of money.
Okay.
And so we need to bait the trap with a juicy commission for the buyer's agent to bring their buyers in. And so we put that out there as a lucrative offering to make sure they come in and see value in your home. And if we don't, then they may find value in another home, and then it's just an uphill battle. That's why we offer bonuses for buyer's agents sometimes when we really want to incentivize it.
Yeah, that was my next question. So when is it that you offer that bonus? Is it when your buyer is really motivated, or when they're stuck in a situation? Like, how do you even bring that up, or do they usually bring it up?
Usually sellers like, hey, do you ever do this? Do you ever offer bonuses? And I'll be honest, as long as you're offering a cooperative, competitive commission, I don't think you need to do a bonus. I've never really seen any reason to do a bonus. I've had sellers ask, I'm like, as long as we're offering the standard, I'd rather put that money towards, lowering the price or offering an appliance or flooring alliance. Like, give it back to the buyer somehow. They'll give it to the buyer's agent, right? So, let's say there's $5,000 bonus. Let's put that towards a flooring allowance or something like that. That's usually where I go with it.
Okay.
And that allowance
Give it to me, I'll take it gladly.
It's a good way to spin it, the allowance. Like, I had a listing with a really high strata fee. And so I said, you know what, my seller's willing to give your buyer an allowance of half of the amount of the strata fees for the first year. And really all you're doing is taking it off the list price.
Okay, that sounds good. It's almost an incentive. Well, it is an incentive.
Yeah. Well, it's just trying to keep their objections off the table or handle them up front, right? So, well, we're worried we can't handle the, there might be a maintenance fee increase or potential assessment because of this or that. It's like, okay, well, I'd rather offer that here, and then well, that's how you get that deal together, right? So, so for next week, we'll get you guys doing this commission objection script. Did Aman join us again? Do we have that breakout room? I don't know how to do it. Sorry, guys. Otherwise, I would offer it to you guys. But I'd love to see you guys jump onto calls here. If you want to just stick your numbers in the chat as usual, and we'll do a quick commission objection, and then you can even do the for sale by owner script as well on that.
I got a quick question.
Yeah, please.
Sorry, I know Hiroshi gave the 3 Ps, and then he gave 2 more. One of them was proactively prospective. What was the last one you said?
Price watch.
Price watch.
Peace out.
Peace out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So next week we'll do this commission objection. You guys can actually handle it. We'll do this together, and this is how we grow. Like we mentioned before, like I want you guys to be comfortable to do this. And think about whatever the fear is of this group of people that are totally supportive and like just going to encourage you, versus the $5,000 you leave on the table when someone asks you in real life. So I want you guys to all be challenged to come on next week and handle a commission objection. And there's obviously a little bit of discomfort there, but it matters, and we're pushing you guys to grow and be a little uncomfortable. Everybody, can you agree to do that? You have a week.
Yes.
To handle this objection. So I would just do it every day. You can just chat with different people because they're going to give you different objections. Do it 2 or 3 times each, and then move on, and then do it the next day. And by next week, you guys will be dialed in and ready to handle the objection. Sound good? Okay, so you also have the FSBO script in there. So I would suggest if you guys are going to chat, so in the chat group here, everybody's got their numbers in there. Who else didn't? We're missing a few people in there. Ryan, I know you joined us. Do you want to jump on? Wolvie, did you put your number in there?
In the link? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Why don't you jump on with Ryan? I think he's from he hasn't fully signed up yet, but Ryan, Wolvie, why don't you guys connect and try it out? Cool. So yeah, do that. Do the FSBO script. Does anyone have any questions? Then we'll let you once you're done your calls.
Let's schedule in our Friday one-on-ones, Chris.
Right. Thank you. So Fridays after 11, we'll do a CMA on Friday. We'll wrap it up a little faster this time. Those were some challenging ones last week, which is good. We'll schedule time. So if you guys need anything, you connect with us individually. We got 11 and 11:30 for a half-hour session for. Yes, please, Debbie, pair up, grab someone out of the group. I can do it if you guys want. If you, David and Mickey, Ryan and Wolvie, Debbie and Mark. Dylan and Manveer, Mickey and Manu, Mark and Cindy. Right, wait, did I say Mark already? You guys, I said Mark already. Okay.
I called you.
I called. Just posted recordings for you guys. Thanks, Amin. Okay. I'm feeling like everybody's got their. Yeah, so by the way, so we have our YouTube channel. So all these are going to be recorded from now on. So you guys can go back and listen to them. And you know, if you missed something, go back and check it out again. Actually, I think we're going to do a call here real quick. Why don't we do this? I'll make the call just because I said I would. Who knows how it'll go? So Lougheed condo. Here, I'm just gonna add this here. You guys all see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So show contact info. It's gonna ask me to. You got to do a stoplight type deal here. Come on.
I looked at that one. I think it might be an agent. I just Googled the phone number.
Contact Maria. Oh, is it? All right. I am human. Oh. Okay. What? Votes.
What we found it on.
To schedule
on
a
REW.
Is it on REW, Ben?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just Googled the phone number.
Okay, well, we'll leave it for now. I'm not gonna bother her. She needs to be educated, but that's another worry. Looks like a nice place. You guys got any buyers? All right. So you guys jump on. Does anyone have any other questions or anything we can help with before we sign off? Then
No,
let us know for Friday if you guys have anyone that you think should be on this call. Please invite them. If you have people that you believe would be a good fit for coaching, please let them know about us, and we're happy to help. Like I said, you guys help us grow, and we help you grow. So I hope you got a lot today from Trish. That was awesome. We'll bring some more people in like that have just. I think we want to do more panel type stuff, interviewing people. Something on social media here coming soon. That'd be great. Ron is going to do a special 135 for you guys that weren't able to do it on Friday. So coaching people, so goal setting for 2021. So that'd be really powerful for you guys. Business planning. And
is that next Friday? This coming Friday, I mean?
Well, no. Friday will be CMAs, and then Ron will do a special one. We'll find a time in the calendar for everybody that makes sense. I can't tell you what Ron's schedule is, but he's offered to do it, so we'll take that up. And it's a powerful exercise. It really does get your schedules correct, setting it up for success, and then setting your goals. So, does anyone know if anything else we can help with right away? Any questions specific to this? Going once. Awesome. Okay, we guys have an awesome day. Good luck with the scripting. Make that money. Keep that money. Have fun.
Hey, Chris, can you put the link for the commission script again? I couldn't get that through the wiki site.
Okay.
Commission script.
You got 1 sec here. Yeah, I'll stick it in.
Thanks.
Slowly but surely. Here's a. Will you reduce your commission? There you go. And then shut up. I kid. There it is. Okay. If you can't get access, let me know. But should be fine. All right. Good luck. Have fun. Have a good week. We'll see you guys Friday. Let us know if you guys need anything. We'll schedule one-on-ones. Anything else? Hiroshi, Carol?
No, let's just hang back and chat after.
No, it
Yeah.
says I need an access code. I need access to get on there.
Okay, hang tight 1 sec.
Mine says the same thing. Access denied.
Okay.
Hey,
Hold
Mark,
on.
I'm just waiting for Chris to send me the commission script. So it's just coming through right now. I need to have access or something. So I'll call you back when I get it. Okay, thanks. Okay, bye.
Okay. I think this is slowing down my computer here, so I'm gonna stop presenting. Maybe that speeds it up. Been weird today. Change anyone with the link. Okay, try again. That should work. Let me know.
Also, if you have access to the wiki site, the very near the top on the left-hand column, it says all scripts, and it's in there as well.
Yeah.
Under
that's
all
the easy way to get
scripts.
in there.
Yeah.
I've got access. Thank you.
Yeah. There's a
Nice.
there's a couple different ones on the wiki site too on the scripts. This is just a good one. It'll work for you. All right. Good luck out there. Have a wonderful week.
Okay. Thanks very much, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good job
Sun's
today,
out.
guys.
It's gonna be a good day to bang on doors today.
Yeah, gorgeous weather. Go take advantage.
All right, thank you. Nice work,
Yep.
David.
Yeah, thanks guys. Talk to you real soon.
Take care, everyone. Alrighty, Amen. We needed you back.